Why hello there, nice tail. Here, let's try that again. The first one started with, why hello there, nice tail. Oh, crap. Got a little bit distracted there. But, I hope this video finds you well. Better than, better than it found me in the beginning. I'm bringing you a review today of this Ozark trail knives. Something, 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 something. It's called something. I'll put it down. It's numbers. It's numbers, yeah. This is an ultra budget, borderline gas station knife that I picked up recently. I got it from Walmart. I don't know if they're all from Walmart, but I got that and the excerpt here from Walmart. I just got finished. Well, the review for this one just went up before it did on this one, probably like 2 days before. Yeah, this is amazing. This is amazing. This is great. This is well worth its money. And holy crap, these are both very similarly priced. This is doing some things really well. It's honestly not as good as the book, but it's doing some things really well. And it's, again, really good. This is going to be a full review. It's going to be longer. There's going to be some blathering, specs, and all that. If you want to wait for the shorter summary to hit all the base points, probably a week or so. A week or so out. Consider subscribing and liking, and you'll get notified when the summary drops. If you don't want to stick around for this, that's perfectly reasonable. This is going to be like a 20-minute video, so I don't blame you. Let's get into specs real fast. I'll see if I can make it a little bit shorter. Blade length, you have just about 3 1/4, just under 3 1/4 of blade length. I call that 3.2 inches. 7.5 overall. A little over 3 1/4. I mean, 3 1/4, 4 1/4. Yeah, maybe 4 3/8 of handle. Let's do some comparisons to our resident comparison knives, the small Civivi Elementum and the full-size Civivi Conspirator. And that's a dog in the background making whatever the heck that noise is. He makes lots of noises. Hello, dog. How are you doing? I'm reaching down, petting dog. Hello, dog. As you can see, this is a knife that falls pretty firmly in between the two. I'd call this... It's just barely a medium knife. It feels almost small. But it's enough that there's enough there that I'd call this a medium-sized knife. Not full-sized, not quite small, but very close to being on the edge. Our final comparison is the comparison anybody can do to AA batteries. And you have, honestly, almost 2 AA batteries in handle length here. So you probably are not going to have trouble holding on to this thing. You've got reasonable thickness. It is thinner than the Conspirator, but not quite probably as thin as the Elementum. However, it is slightly contoured. No complaints about that. Slight contouring? I'm fine with that. Especially at this price point. 3.28 ounces. Basically an ounce an inch, which is pretty good considering they have full steel liners in here. They do have some skeletonization going on in there, but not a ton. But the ratios are actually pretty solid. Thickness. Handle. 457 thousandths. Yes, that's a little bit... Just a hair thicker than the Elementum, but pretty close. Very thin blade stock of 88 thousandths. And behind the edge, this thing is not only whisper thin, it is also hollow ground. So this should be pretty much non-existent behind the edge. Let's see if they actually got it down there. I was expecting about 10,000, so it's a little bit thicker than I would like. Not that I would like, that I was expecting. But, yeah, 12-ish thousandths behind the edge. Let's get some of that tape out of there. Here. Let me double check that I got that right, because the tape was getting in the way. Behind the edge. Yeah, 12 thousandths. It's thin. It's thin. It stays thin. It's geometry all day. It barely even needs an edge at that point. It's just geometry. You got a general shape and a swedge at that thinness. It's geometry all day. It's very good in that regard. Where is my... There it is. I was looking for that. I think this is the T8. It is. It is T8 and T6 everything else. T8 pivot, T6 everything else. I don't love that. I have taken this knife apart, and the T6s are actually held up really quite well. You do always have to worry. Budget T6s, even expensive T6s, can strip out. Just be aware of that. Have good tools. These ones have done honestly better than some others. Like, I've had QSP ones do it way quicker than these, feel much more solid. So, actually, honestly, no complaints. Sorry, QSP, I hate to throw you under the bus, but I've had several from them do that. I've had one from Civivi. I've had, like, it happens. Are we done with the specs already? I think we are. Look at that. All right, so what are we looking at here? We're looking at a drop point Tanto in 14C28N. We are looking at aluminum handles, steel liners, on bearings. It is a crossbar lock. I do not know what the back material is for the back spacer. Let's see. More aluminum. It's not magnetic. Pocket clip's magnetic, right? Yeah, okay. The magnets are fighting, but steel, and aluminum, and 14C28N. Let's start off with where everybody wants to be on this thing. How much is this thing? This is like a $17 knife. This is borderline gas station prices. I already mentioned that these two are kind of approaching gas station price points. They are not gas station knives. 14C28N is not something you're going to see on any gas station knife. Aluminum is not something that you're going to see executed to any decent degree on gas station knives. Now, this one did come with a scuff here, and of course, it's probably not the greatest high-tier aluminum. It's going to take maybe some scuffs a little bit, but honestly, it's not bad. It's held up all right. It hasn't really scuffed anymore. So this one might have just gotten nicked on something, which is, I mean, again, gas station prices, I expect way worse. This is good. Just straight up, this is good, especially for its price point. It's kind of amazing for its price point, especially in 14C28N. Do I think the 14C28N is optimally heat-treated? No, but 14C28N does pretty well with a 58 to 59 heat treat on it, so they don't really got to take it quite as far. It's somewhat forgiving. As long as they're getting it somewhere around there, it's totally acceptable. It just is. It's also got this sort of, I don't think it's a PVD, it's some sort of copperish coating on it, which stands out very nicely against the blue. It's decently, it's applied fine. It's held up decently. As you can see, there's been some cutting done with it. It hasn't really flaked away, so it's better than just like crappy paint. You got the Ozark Trail stuff there. I think Ozark Trail is actually owned by Walmart, so this is probably a Walmart exclusive, but I got it from Walmart, and again, it's like $17 and some change. I know one of the Ozark Trail knives that they did recently made a little bit of a stink because it was very similar to a bug out, but for like $15. Yeah, this is very similar in that vein. It's way better than it should be, and I'm okay with that. As I said, bearings in the pivot. It does have, you know, that cheap knife sort of bearing or crossbar lock bounce, but it totally works. Like, so you can do that, but yeah, it totally works just fine. No problems outside of the camera. The actual Omega springs here are pretty reasonable, actually. They create like a decent detent feel. It's not mushy. You can definitely fail it, but it's pretty reliable and not mushy. Better than some crossbar locks, honestly. It's not bad. Could they be a bit stronger? Sure, why not? But, yeah, pretty good. The bar extends a little bit out and definitely gives enough traction to grab a hold of. It's not hard to do. It's pretty darn good in that regard. And the bearings are surprisingly smooth, honestly. They're tiny, and they're Teflon caged bearings down in there. You can kind of see. I was holding it like this without even realizing. But they work. They work just fine. I will mention that the coating on the lock bar, or the crossbar lock, is sort of coming off a little bit. I don't necessarily think they needed to coat the crossbar lock. And it's got a little bit of a stick on there. But it's not enough that it's like a problem. It's not like, no, it's just a pop disengagement. The coating, that might also stop a little bit as the coating comes more off. It's not something to complain about at this price point. And because it's not causing any issues, it's not something to complain about in general. I just note that they probably didn't even need to coat the inside of that bar. It's working otherwise than that. It's solid lockup. Though I will say that you feel a little bit of something that I think, it's not play, but you can feel a little bit of something. Personally, I think it's because the blade is so thin that it's wiggling, and there's stop pins attached to the blade. I think you can feel them just shift a tiny bit. I don't think it's actual play. I'm actually pretty sure it's not actual play, because when I'm doing it like this, it doesn't feel like play at all. So it's solid. It's actually centered. There's no up and down at all. This is a solid execution. No problems whatsoever. As I mentioned, the stop pin is internal here, attached to the blade. It's pressed into the blade. I have heard from, well, one of my viewers when I unbox this thing that people have noted that sometimes these press fit things have been like forced through and like cracked the blade around the stop pin, so you might get like a wonky one or a crazy one, something to maybe check. This one's perfectly fine in there. Press fit in there, solid, works fine, didn't do anything with the blade. No issues whatsoever. So, didn't crack or fracture anything. So, mine's fine. In fact, better than fine. It's centered and no play at this price point, which is just astonishing, especially for a crossbar lock. Geometry, super thin. Could the edge be better? Sure, but is it got an edge? Yes. Does it cut? Yes. Is it actually almost approaching sharp? Not bitey, but sharp? Yeah, it is. Sharpening tool and plunge grind is amazing. It's way up here, giving you metric ton of life, and of course the actual stop pin is attached here, so even if you ever have to cut into sharpening tool way up here, you can. You're going to get a ton of life out of this thing. You're basically going to have no knife left by the time you're done, potentially, with this thing. Which is good, because, I mean, it's cheap, it's budget, it's something that can be just beaten the crap out of. Well, I mean, I wouldn't suggest beating it hard, using it too much. It's not that knife. It is very thin. It's not a hard beater, but it is a good, hard, cheap, budget user on most things. The execution on the actual handles, aside from that little mark, is nice. The blue is nice. It feels good. It's slick, sure, but it's aluminum. Yeah, sure. The edges, there is a chamfer here. The edges are a little bit hard underneath the chamfer, but you don't really feel them, and they're not uncomfortable whatsoever. You can absolutely sit sort of up here and still be very comfortable and get a little closer to that edge. You can sit back here. I have a full four-finger grip, and yeah, it's neutral ergos, very comfortable. No complaints whatsoever there. Pocket clip is deep carry, though it is not quite set up for full deep carry. It is pretty deep. Good carry depth, good shape. In fact, there's no flat on the end, which is like better than 95% of the companies out there, let's be honest. It is a stiff pocket clip, but it's got good flex to it. Good retention. Great retention. It is reasonably tall. No problems in and out of the pocket for me on this particular one. Maybe if your pockets are super thick. And yeah, you feel it in the hand, but it's really comfortable. Like, they really were smart about this thing, about its placement, about the execution, about the fact that there's no giant flat bill on the end. I have no complaints about this pocket clip. This is a good budget pocket clip. It is also reversible because this is an ambidextrous knife. There's no plate there, no screws there, but you know what? I don't care at this price. Just don't care. It is ambidextrous, and people can enjoy it regardless of which hand you're going to be using. There's a lanyard hole with more aluminum. Pretty big lanyard hole, but it doesn't seem to be prioritized over the pocket clip in any meaningful way. The ergos are big, neutral, comfortable. Yes, this is amazing. This is like a $17, $18 knife that is good. Really good. Can I guarantee you on this heat treat? No, but 14C28N aluminum at this price, you're just not going to find it anywhere else. You're probably almost certainly not going to find it anywhere else, especially considering how well this thing actually came together. Is it a great knife compared to another, an $80 knife? No. Is it that much worse? Compared to some, probably not. It's really good. This is a win all day, just like the Buck Exert here was. The Buck Exert, while it tends to be around a $20 knife, it was originally $27 knife. This was originally $17, in some sense. The Buck Exert seems to have been brought down, but to approximately similar price points than this in a lot of places that I'm seeing it. However, this thing still beats it in a little bit in the price point. I think the fit and finish and the quality of the Buck is actually better. I will say that. However, you're not getting 14C28. You're not getting aluminum. You're not getting a crossbar lock. This thing makes up for it in other areas, and more than makes it a very appealing and very solid knife. I don't know. I think there's still some, pardon me, at Walmart on their site. I can't guarantee you it's going to be in stock, but it would make like a decent stocking stuffer kind of thing for this year, for those people that might be interested in just grabbing something like that. It's really good. It's a really solid budget knife that punches above its class. It does. I can't say anything is bad enough that I would say, oh, this is just objectively bad. Could they improve things? Sure, but then you're going to be dealing with a heavier design knife that, is going to start reaching higher price points, and that's not the point of this. What's here is really good. I mean, even the jimping, even if it's not perfect, like optimal jimping, it actually works, kind of. Yeah, this is Ozark Trail thing is... Walmart's doing some weird things. They've got some decent knives. And, this is good. This is recommendable, especially at this price point. I don't know where all that black's coming on. Maybe it's some oil, but... Yeah, even, I want to just, again, point out that the coating on that crossbar is coming off, but other than creating a little bit of stick, which I can probably get rid of by oil, hitting that with some yeah. Brain just stopped functioning. No. Rubbing alcohol. Just to clean that off a little bit. It's not a problem. It really isn't. I want to find something. I don't think there is one. It's just good. It's just good. I've gone completely off the rails here because I'm completely out of things to say other than it's good. I'm looking and there's nothing to really pick on. Very recommendable. I'm going to end things here. I'm going to apologize for the last, 2 minutes of this video. Sorry about that. But hopefully you got something out of this. Hopefully you enjoyed seeing something of this caliber at this price point. I'm certainly happy with it. And I'm certainly going to actually continue using it. So if there's anything that goes catastrophically wrong, I'll mention it. Probably in the summer or in the future. But as it stands, this is a win. I'm done. I'll see you later, hopefully. See you in the next one. Continue having a good day. And I'm out. Again, I'm just repetitive at the end of this one. Sheesh.